Welcome to today's Monday's Money Tip. Hi, I'm Janine Bolin. I'm known as a financial first responder, and I am working collaboratively with Matters of Perspective to bring you today's money tip. You can look for these tips every Monday over the course of the next several weeks. And I just wanted to let you know that each time I come to you on a Monday, I will be giving you some quick tips about how to live debt-free. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the 3 stages of debt-free living. I didn't always have money in my bank account. I actually learned how to live debt-free and started writing books back in 1996. And by 2005, I had managed to get quite a collection of books put together, as well as what happened last year was my podcast became syndicated, so I have quite a bit of content that you have access to courtesy of Matters of Perspective. So let's talk about debt-free living. One of the aspects about that, what does it mean to have this? One is you have zero credit card debt, no medical bills, no student loans, no car payments, no leasing payments, and no housing payments. Sound too good to be true? Actually, this is what I do for my people, is I take them from a place where they have absolutely no money and they feel totally in that scarcity mentality, and we move them into a place where they're moving along their train, they're moving along their plan, they have goals, and then eventually they get to a point where they're living the lifestyle they've always envisioned for themselves. Now, this takes time, but we do it step by step, and we do it well. So what we want to do is start off with, let's talk about empty pockets. The empty pocket syndrome is usually set up by situations that you find yourself in. You have rent, you don't have any savings, you got student loans, you got medical bills, you have loans where you owe people money, and on average, people that come to me in this state have $15,000 or more in credit card debt. What we do is we work with them to get them to a place where they are a commuter. A commuter is somebody who has 1 to 2 jobs. They do still have medical bills and loans, but they are $0 on their credit card debt. Now, that doesn't mean they don't use credit cards. It's just they use credit cards, but they pay them off every month. For the most part, they're making good choices. So I help people get the mindset necessary to move into this space. Eventually, though, the goal is to help you become what we call a polestar, where the only money that you owe anyone else is a house payment, a car payment, and the rest of the money that normally you use to pay off credit card debt and loans is going into a Roth IRA or some other savings vehicle for yourself. It's a little bit easier life. So are you an empty pocket? Are you a commuter? Are you a polestar? Let's talk about these stages of living. In all 3 stages, we will constantly try to maximize your income and decrease your expenses. One of the things that weighs heavily on most Americans is the fact that they have a housing payment or a mortgage payment, a car payment. They're just overburdened with debt. And I want you to have that feeling of freedom that only comes when you owe nothing on your house, you owe nothing on your car, and there are ways that you can do that. You just have to be rather strategic about it. One of the things that I want you to start saying for yourself is, I want to own what I use. The exceptions to this is your first house and your first car. Usually you have to pay those off with some sort of a payment plan, but after you've owned your first house, after you've owned your first car, constantly make it a goal that you are going to live debt-free. So decrease those expenses and let's work on increasing your income. I teach what's called the 60-40 principle. I know this is kind of a rough sketch, but this is how I used to teach it. It used to be on the backs of napkins, scrap paper and stuff. People would ask me, well, what's this 60-40 principle? And I would explain it to them about 10 or 15 minutes. I have videos on this that you can find on YouTube, but hang on, I'll show you where you can get some of these videos. The biggest thing is, if you're struggling on how do I go about getting more money available to me without taking on a third job, what I recommend is that you read the book, The Tightwad Gazette. Amy Decision has thousands of ways that you can promote a thrifty lifestyle for yourself so you're not living a heavily debt lifestyle. With this, you can then start working on your financial targets, which the first one I recommend for you is You want to live debt-free. The next thing is you want to save habitually. And the third thing is if you don't already have a retirement account of some kind, either a Roth or something that's a 401k or something like that, that becomes your next goal. So I encourage you this week, before next Monday, and I give you another money tip, figure out what it's going to take for you to become debt-free, how you can start saving habitually, and how can you open up a long-term savings account. If you are totally needing help in this regard, do not worry. I have a 3-minute money tip podcast that is promoted every Friday. We upload a new episode. You can see all past episodes on my website, financialfirstresponse.com/podcast. Realize that Matters of Perspective has teamed up with my company, Financial First Response, and I have a special web page just for you that will help you with the 60/40 principle and other things. And you can go to my personal website. It's JanineBolin.com/Matters of Perspective. I made it shorter for you, just MOP, so MOP. I thought that was going to be kind of cute for you. So this is Janine Bolin with Monday's Money Tip, and I wish you a very successful week. See you next Monday.